For many years in Europe, air conditioning wasn't an essential necessity for most homes. There were a few hot days during the summer, and people usually got by with fans. But the heat waves of recent years have begun to change this habit. Today, the picture is completely different. Demand for air conditioning is rising rapidly in many European countries. At first glance, this might seem like a natural consequence of the hot weather, but I don't think that's where the real story begins. What really catches my attention is the impact this is having on the economy. For many years, Europe was one of the regions where air conditioner usage was quite low. Today, only about 20% of households in the European Union have air conditioning. By comparison, in the United States, that figure is over 90%. In other words, Europe wasn't really prepared for a period when temperatures would rise so rapidly. Under normal circumstances, demand for a product increases gradually. Factories then scale up production accordingly. But right now, demand in Europe is rising so rapidly that even manufacturers are struggling to keep up. That's because millions of people who for years said, "Our climate is mild, we don't need air conditioning," are now all rushing to buy air conditioners at the same time. But when millions of people start buying air conditioners all at once, the balance shifts completely. Factories are struggling to keep up with this demand. Store inventories are running out quickly, delivery times are getting longer, and pressure on prices is mounting. In fact, this situation reveals something very important to us. Sometimes, what changes the economy isn't a new technology or a new product. Sometimes, even a shift in people's habits can completely transform a massive market. This is exactly what's happening in Europe today. Moreover, it doesn't end there. Because every new air conditioner sold also means increased electricity consumption. When millions of new air conditioners start running at the same time, energy demand rises rapidly. The International Energy Agency is drawing attention to precisely this issue. One of the most significant factors driving global electricity demand in the coming years will be the rapid increase in air conditioner use due to heat waves. In other words, every air conditioner sold today does more than just cool a home. It also places a new burden on countries' electricity infrastructure. This is forcing governments to build new power plants, strengthen their electrical grids, and make billions of euros in new investments. For years, when people in Europe talked about energy security, they always thought of the winter months. The conversation centered on natural gas storage, heating costs, and gas imports from Russia. But a new era may now be beginning. Because energy security is no longer just a winter topic, it's starting to be discussed in the summer as well. Perhaps what we're discussing today seems to be just about air conditioners, but I think there's a much bigger shift behind this. The climate, people's habits, demand, and as demand changes, so does the direction of the economy. Who knows? Perhaps Europe's air conditioning crisis will be one of the first signs of the energy economy of the future. If you enjoy this kind of content and don't see the economy as just headlines, you can subscribe to the EcoVantage report. See you in the next video.